Today it's time to do another flight on my FMS PA18 Super Cub, the 1.3. I have both the 1.7 and the 1.3, but the 1.3 is a really sweet size. It's easy to transport. It lacks two things. You don't get the 1.3 then with floats, and it doesn't feature quick connectors then for all the servos and the wing lights, which is a kind of a bummer because it's just messy to deal with the cables if you disassemble this RCEP and assemble it when it's time to fly. But today then I have floats on mine. So these are the kind of the standard FMS floats which you get for instance, the Super Easy and the FMS Ranger 1.2. So let's go outside and then to the lake, which is frozen on top of the ice with lots of snow, and just do a nice windy flight with my PA18. Today then doing floats just before sunset, so it's a really lovely evening, very little wind, very chilly also. Just there's a great sky to fly against, have this shade then towards the sunset. And as with almost all RCL planes, and when you have the floats on them, I think that they just do look more scale. They have kind of this mass and size underneath the plane then, which just, in my opinion, makes them more looking like a real thing. And I have flown this Super Cub then with floats during the summer, and it's a little bit lacking just compared to without floats, of course, but still, just if I'm just picking up speed and having good speed, I think I can do inverted and doing almost loops and everything. So I mean, it's not a really powerful RCL plane with the 3 battery inside, but still I think it can do most aerobatics, and I also think that it's possible just to go 4S on this plane. I have replaced the speed control in mine, so I do have an avian, but also in experience, I'm not really sure. But on the FMS Ranger I tried 4S and just pushed it, and I actually melted the mount for the motor, and the motor just broke also as well. So the problem wasn't really, maybe it was the motor that couldn't really keep up, but I think that this Super Cub then does also have a beefier motor than the Ranger. There's kind of a thin layer of snow on the lake right now, so floats is a really good option. I think I could have done the wheels as well, but I just wanted to try floats. Still, you can see you can just push this one around. I think it's much more enjoyable just to go in full flaps, and just more or less with no throttle. Let's go in for another touch and go then with floats. A very enjoyable thing to do these kind of touch and goes, and especially when you have like floats and on snow, and when you have like a vast space like on top of the ice and on the lake. And even though this plane does feature LED lights, I don't think that the LED light is maybe the best feature. I think that they are kind of poor in a sense. I'd like to see kind of a tail light, but even the existing lights, they're not as visible. I think that, for instance, just compared to the lights on the Arrow's Bigfoot, I think that the Bigfoot does feature a better set of lights compared to this one. And of course you have like the RV7, which has a really nice LED light set then. So a few improvements could be done on this plane. Still, I think it's a really good performer. Kind of a surprisingly good performance and on 3S. Also do get these telemetry warnings because it is kind of cold, so just drain the battery faster than just when doing it kind of in the summertime. And the funny thing, I just met this spectator, just a guy who approached me, and he couldn't really grasp how I could keep this plane just flying and just orientate in the sky. And I think that this is something that over time then you just get used to. So it's kind of in your muscle memory how you control the plane, even if you're going like towards you or away from you or upside down. So it's kind of after I don't know, a few thousand flights, just becomes more or less just second nature to control the plane. So the only thing that I'm really scared of that having an RC plane just more or less above your head, because then it's very easy to lose orientation, and especially as I film these videos then with a head cam, so I cannot tilt my head back too much because then the camera will just fall off behind my back. So that's the only thing I'm watching out for, just don't go above me, and then I'm all good. There's no wind, so let's go from this direction then also. Yeah, really enjoyable flight with this Super Cub. Regardless of skill level, I don't think you will be disappointed with this RC plane. Of course, if you're like a totally beginner, maybe I would suggest something like the E-flite Valiant, or maybe the one of the Apprentice then from E-flite. They're really great RC planes. Or if you want to have something really uncomplicated and smaller, you have like these Eachine mini warbirds, which are, you know, they are not indestructible, I would say, but really nice. But regardless, if you're just anywhere to, I mean, you just have a few flights under your belt, this is just fantastic. And even if you're experienced, you can have so much fun. I like just to go up high, flip it over, and just drop throttle, kicking flaps, and just have the plane kind of gliding down. I think it's just a fantastic experience. And although you have floats on this RC plane, it does become a little bit heavier, of course, and maybe a little bit more sluggish, just slightly. But still a good performance. And with the floats, then you can fly on water, on snow, and on ice. So it just ends to the possibilities just to get this one up in there, because it is an enjoyable experience to fly this PA-18.